For those of you who don't know, I actually made some horrible mistakes about 14 years ago that came back to haunt me.
I just want people to know that like you can struggle, but like you're not a failure.
We've had a lot of complaints, people saying the lash industry is dying out or it's dead. And I don't believe that. I believe that's a mindset.
I'm just really excited for all of it. And I feel like it's like a fresh start.
What's up, Lashinistas? Welcome to the show. This is the Olivor Lash podcast, where we talk about the ever-growing eyelash business. So whether you work for yourself or someone else, this podcast is for you.
What's up, guys? This is Shauna and Mike Jones with Olivor Lash. Our heart is to share with you guys our uphill battle in this industry and to give you guys a real raw version of what things are really like.
All right. So this is our welcome back episode. It's been a while. It's been a few years, actually.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Been on a couple.
Yeah. So we're excited to be here and just to welcome like Olivor Lash to everybody. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys so much for like following us and supporting us with this new venture. It means everything. You have no idea. And I'm just really appreciative of that.
And if you're brand new to this, you don't know who we are. Shauna and I founded LivBay Lash.
Yeah.
We're the original founders and started that company. First, originally it was Sassy Lashes, and then we got the absolute shit suit out of us. It turned out somebody else actually coined that name. So we then pivoted and started LivBay Lash. All LivBay was play on words for our son and daughter, Olive and Baylor. So we just formed LivBay out of it. A few things have happened though, derailed us along the way.
Yeah.
And we're going to share that with you. If you are not new to our brand, you've been listening to us for many years, since we've been doing this for a long, long time, then you're well aware of our story. You probably have some stuff. You probably helped to reshare my press release and some other things that have happened to me. For those of you who don't know, I actually made some horrible mistakes about 14 years ago that came back to haunt me, and there is no excuses. I made some mistakes. I hurt some people along the way, and I ended up having to go away for prison. And I cannot go back on that. There's nothing I can do to change the past. All I can do going forward is hope that I can educate people to not make some of the same mistakes that I made along the way as well. And hopefully for those of you out there that reshared that press release and other Lash Facebook pages and things and saw it, obviously not everybody knew all the details involving it. This is something Shauna and I went through for many years.
Silently.
So it wasn't that we were trying to snow anybody. I think it was just more of a shock to people because they weren't expecting it, And again, this is not something that I'm proud of, but this is something that I take full accountability and full responsibility from. And I'm looking forward to not only going forward, doing things the right way, but I'm looking forward to showing other people how to do this thing the right way, because I know there are other people out there who have gone through some difficult things in their past too. And if I can educate or offer advice or show you what I've learned, then I think that'll help you grow as well.
Yeah. And I do just want to say for the record, there's just two things that I just want to debunk about that situation is, our lash journey is our lash journey. Everything we've always shared with you guys has always been accurate. And the mistake that Mike made in 2012, that had nothing to do with there was no cross-contamination. I've stated that before, but I just want to emphasize that. When Mike did get into his legal stuff, we literally started with nothing because the feds took everything. And so we truly started with no money. And I think people have made comments trying to debunk that situation, and that's not the case. Another debunk is, press releases that have been shared state that there's a monetary value of $12 million, and my husband did not take that. And there's a press release in 2015 that states how much my husband's company at that time had brought in, and it was 3.5, and that restitution was paid. Obviously, there's no deflection of what my husband did. He's walked with a lot of shame for these years, and I've watched him, grow and go through different things. And we're here to just share that journey in general, because there was a lot more things that went into it with regards to that situation. And there's no deflection. My husband, he went through a really rough patch, and a lot of people didn't know he faced a really bad addiction too. And so I think like all these things adding up, there's just so much value in someone going through something so difficult, and also just to come out on the other side. And I'm proud of you. I love you. And I am a gangster. I'm the best wife in the world.
Definitely are.
No,
definitely are. The other thing is too, listen, I think that the person going away to prison was one thing, but the people that were impacted the most by this was obviously my wife and my kids, my mom. I put my mom through some embarrassment, my wife through some embarrassment, and I know I can't take that back. But I will say this, my wife has stuck by my side since day one. She really has been a gangster. I'm very proud of her. She's never shrunk or fallen back away from this thing. She's walked through it. She was no part of it. She's walked through it with dignity, and she's taken a lot of heat for that. My children, especially, they were very little when this happened. When I was setting this, they were nowhere even remotely alive when this thing happened. So they're the ones I think who took it the hardest. They couldn't understand why dad was going away, and there's nothing I can do to make it better for them for the years that I missed there. But here's what I did learn in my time away. I did learn the value of certain things in my life. One of the things I've talked about, and I know some of you are going, well, how is this relevant? Some of you out there with your lash business, it could be very much flourishing right now. You're hiring people. You have a lot of people that work for you. And one of the things that I noticed is even though we were always there for our kids, I wasn't always present, right? And what do I mean by that is upon some deeper reflection, I've noticed that I might have been in that room, but I was giving them iPads. I was running a movie on Apple TV for them, something just to occupy their time so I could handle work emails, talk to distributors. And it really made me value quality time with the family, because life is short and family is the most important thing. And what are we doing this for? Why are we working so hard? A lot of the tips and tricks we've given you guys over the years have helped a lot of you get very successful. Just remember, when you get to those level ups, those phases in life where you're successful, make sure you're spending time with the quality ones that are there with you for that journey. The loved ones, the little ones, your significant other, the ones that mean the most to you. Because honestly, at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff really is just a flash in the pan. Yes, it's nice to have nice things, but you know what I've noticed? My kids don't remember going to Disney and spending thousands of dollars on character breakfasts and getting pictures with Mickey and riding rides. And they remember the time that I spent with them. Kids spell love Time. That's how they spell love. They don't remember the fancy stuff's nice. It's cool. It's fun, but they don't remember that. They remember the love and the attention and the time. Same with my wife, right? Like there's nothing that can make up for the time that I wasn't there. There's a lot of things that she had to do on her own, go through without me being there to help her. And so I wish, again, I could take that time back. I wish I could fix those wrongs, go in the past, have a DeLorean or a time machine and go back to the future and fix those things, but I can't. One of the other biggest takeaways or biggest lessons I learned during this process is this. I taught a lot of classes while I was away. I taught a lot of classes on e-commerce. There were a lot of guys in prison who'd never done anything before where they could sell a product online. A lot of guys who were in there for selling drugs, were in there for white collar. I met celebrities, I met doctors, I met everything. But the one common denominator was a lot of them never heard of selling online. And so I was able to share a lot of the successes that we had in the lash business with them, teaching them how to start their own Amazon store, teaching them how to run their own ads. A lot of the stuff we've taught you guys over the years, which is actually really applicable to anything else out there, can help people grow their lives as well. So it was one of the biggest opportunities for me to kind of give back and share some of the things I've learned as well.
That was a tearjerker.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. No, that was a tearjerker. Okay. I'm proud of him for doing that too. He was preaching. You were leading men to God, and you met the best friends. I don't care what anybody says. People who literally got out and were checking on me to see if me and the kids were okay. That was some of your best friends from 10 years didn't even do that. So I'm super appreciative for the people that you met too, because when you're stripped down from everything and you have guys in there, you've just made really great friends. So there's just a lot of value in rough seasons. I don't think we realize in storms, while we're in it, we feel like we're in quicksand. And you're what are you, my faith was wobbly. I was questioning everything with God. How could you ever do this? But now that I look back, I'm wow, you're really molding us and molding me and, into our calling. And so that's why I'm super excited about Olivor Lash, because there's just so much more to give now. And I'm excited. So
this first podcast episode back, we just wanted to give a kind of where we've been, what's going on. I want you guys to know this going forward. I am so excited. I've been sitting back thinking, talking to my wife, what kind of ideas can we come up with? We've had a lot of complaints, people saying the lash industry is dying out or it's dead. And I don't believe that. I believe that's a mindset. And I believe that mindset is I'm burned out, which equals bad content, which equals there's a lash artist in our lash industry dying out. And we've been researching. I am so excited. We're going to be dropping episodes on UV lash glue, on retention stuff with UV lash glue. I've literally spent so much time studying up on this. My wife used to send me tons and tons and tons of stuff on it, and I would just print it and study and study. So I'm so excited to share with you guys all these myth busters on UV lashes, UV lash glue, help you guys get ready for what I believe in the next 5 years is going to be complete industry shift away from standard petroleum-based cyanoacrylate to completely just all UV-based. And we're going to go over some of the things with that as well. I've got some new AI marketing tips to help really get your business to the next level. We're so excited to share that with you. If you're brand new and you're coming out of beauty school, and I'm sure you're getting ready to start your new lash career, you're really excited as well. You've probably already gone through having the friends and family crap all over your hopes and dreams. And I know I've said this before, we were coming up. One of the lessons we had to learn the hard way is friends and family are the last ones to support your hustle. And I'll never forget, I saw this meme one time and said, when Oprah Winfrey comes out with a new diet pill, everybody forks out their money to get their hands on it, right? When Michael Jordan releases a new sneaker, a new Air Jordan in a different colorway, everybody gets in line for that sneaker release day to get a pair of those shoes. Taylor Swift has a concert. Man, people fork out $1,000 to be right up front by that stage. Friend or family member starts a business, she charges too much.
Yeah.
She just started. She doesn't know what she's doing. Everybody wants something for free. We're so quick to put another zero in a celebrity's bank account that we don't know. But the people that we love the most, we don't want to support. We want to take advantage of and get a free service. And so if you're out there and you're brand new, just starting your hustle, I'm sure you're going, what the heck? I just started this. I'm thinking my friends and family are going to support me. And they're the ones that are disappearing the most.
Yeah. I was going to say, with this just whole new thing, and then obviously sitting back for almost a year and not being involved with the company, even though people thought I wasn't. I think that I had researched so much. I was sitting back in lash groups and I was watching all these rumors fly about the lash industry is dying. And I think my goal personally is first of all, the lash industry needs a huge hug, because I was even in those lash groups and I'm sitting back and I'm if I was a new lash artist and I was in this group, there's no way I would ever post anything, because the mentality with OG artists or any type of lash artist, not welcoming or laughing at people for asking certain things, it was quite disappointing. You know what I mean? And we had a lash group at one point as well. And I felt the same way. Sometimes that happens in lash groups, but I think my goal is we all need to be a lot more supportive. And I think we all need to go back to basics with so many things. And for those who I've watched, close their businesses down, I just want people to know that you can struggle, but you're not a failure. And sometimes what I think people forget is when they are closing their business, they're actually very, very smart and knowledgeable. Because if this isn't working, I need to feed my family, that's one of the hardest things. But I think social media has pressured us so much to make it seem like we all have it together. And we never want to be okay, I'm financially wrecked right now. That having to make a post about your business closing, I think more people are stressed out about the social media clapback than if for some reason we were back way before MySpace. And you just had to call your clients and being okay, I'm going to shut down. And so I'm actually proud of a lot of people who shut down their business, because it's such a difficult thing to do. So
yeah, and handle with grace. The other thing is too, everybody wants a brick and mortar location so they can show people, hey, I'm doing big stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that cash flow can be an issue. Trying to get people in can be an issue. And so like my wife was saying, you're not a failure. As a matter of fact, as you get rolling and you start getting more busy and you start making more money, that's actually when you need your clients the most. And that's actually when people take off their foot off the accelerator. What happens is they start getting going, thinking they're above doing the little things, the little details, little customer service details. My wife's big on when a customer walks into our salon, stand up and greet them, right? You want to look like you're excited. Know their name when they're coming in. Hey, welcome, Shirley. Welcome, and know them, because it makes them feel it's like Cheers. Yeah, you guys are too young for Cheers.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
In the TV show Cheers, the people would come into the bar and the people would be like, Norm, and they'd be all excited to see the person. That's how it should feel. Not like a Dick's Last Resort where you walk in, everybody's like Mean Girls on their phone, and they're like, what do you want? People want to feel welcome. People spend money with people they like, and they feel like they're a part of that community, right? And so when they come in, customer service is everything. And what happens is you start making money, you start saying, man, I don't really care if I lose a customer or two. But what happens is it becomes a domino effect. People get to a certain level of success, they take their foot off the accelerator, they start looking back, okay, it's time to rest. And what happens is they don't realize they start losing customers. The people that work for them start quitting and taking clients. They stop putting out relevant content or doing things that are helped in the very beginning, marketing wise, to get them to the top. And what happens is, next thing you know, they're scrambling. They put too many people in charge to help manage their business that they become lazy, and they become to a point where they are too tired to care as well.
Yeah. And lastly, what I want to say is, like, with the whole situation with the new company is, you know, people used to be like, well, it's easy for you because you have your husband, you know, like it's just me and my solo suite, or it's just me trying to, start this business. But the past almost 3 years, I have been doing everything pretty much by myself with a really small, like, amazing team. But I think now, like, I can relate more, even though I've always shown empathy to, like, solo lash, business owners or business owners in general. But I mean, I literally started from scratch all over again. So very humbling, even though I feel like I was really humble before. But I'm just excited to just be here and be a voice and be like a sounding board and just give value in my experience with everything, and also join everybody as they are growing and scaling. And I just think it's really important that we have a lot of positivity and reassurance, because if we go back to the basics of everything, it's like laying down the groundwork. I think that it will root everybody back into that success mode again, because I think there's just so much hearsay about, the failing lash industry, and it's reverting over to this and this and that. And so I just think I'm just really excited for all of it. And I feel like it's like a fresh start.
It's just fundamentals. It's basic fundamentals. There's so many little lost art things that haven't been taught or talked about in so long. We've gotten so big into doing the glam and the fun stuff. Nobody wants to do the little details. Remember this, leadership is not sitting at the top of the mountain and shouting down at people. Leadership is sitting down in the trenches and leading in front of the pack, showing people. And if we can show you little teeny tricks that are lost art type things that maybe you've forgotten, it's crazy when you sit down and you do a review and you look at things that you may have forgot that got you along the way. You look at it and you go, oh my God, I can't believe I've gotten away from that. And that's those little fine details are the things between being successful and being a schmuck just trying to take people's money. And so I really think this time around with everything we're going to teach you guys, make sure you're taking notes. One of the things I loved most while I was away was my wife sending me emails or comments from people that had started out in their lash journey from nothing. One lady said she was stocking shelves overnight at a Walmart, and she used to put an earpiece on, and she said, hand to God, all I would do was just listen to your podcast and watch your tutorials. Now I'm opening a second lash suite, and I'm graduating from nursing school. Thank you and Mike so much for everything you taught me. I was blown away by that, because even if I look back in this whole journey and I know that there were people's lives that we impacted and we changed, regardless of however you feel about Mike and Shauna, I want to know that we at least had some type of profound impact on your life, that we were able to help better somebody. And that each one, reach one, teach one, right? And we have to make sure we're continuing that. And I promise you guys, if you tune into these episodes coming up here, we're going to teach you guys so many amazing things, not only just with better client retention, but with your lash booking systems, with AI marketing, little sneaky tricks that are going to help you get busier. They're going to teach you how to get in there, follow your competitors' followers, and start getting their attention and slowly building your book of business if you don't have a big budget to play with, right? If you're on a shoestring budget, we're going to help you. We're going to teach you how to grow. We're going to teach you all the little nitty-gritty details of this business. Why us? Because we've been doing it for well over a decade, and we know everything from the trenches, from the ground up. We built out of the tiniest little bedroom in our house. So
with
we built the fall side.
And with the biggest cloud over us too. I think it's one thing to be starting a business, but also to balance out your personal life, because life is going to get everybody. Hopefully not in the way that we, had to deal with things, but I think it's very hard too for business owners when you're going through a divorce or a health scare or financial trouble. Like, listen, if you're going through it, we've dealt with it. So, I just think there's a ton of value. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really excited that we are so welcomed back. It feels good to be back. And
much as that, we miss you guys.
Yeah, I know.
I miss you. I've never been so excited to do a podcast all my life.
I've been talking about it.
I've been talking about it over and over, man. I'm excited. I've had people DM me and say, man, we can't wait to hear those tag words. What's up, Lashinistas? So we're back. Uncle Mike and Aunt Shauna are back. We're here to give you some great info.
I don't know if we're aunt and uncle anymore.
Yeah, we might need Grandpa and Grandma. Grandpa Mike and Grandpa Shauna.
Yeah.
But we're back. We're ready to give you some really great relevant stuff to get you over the edge. Make sure you follow us at Olivor Lash LV on YouTube. That's where you're going to be able to watch this podcast in video format and our tutorials.
Yep.
You can also go to Apple Podcasts, Olivor Lash Podcast. You'll be able to get all the latest episodes. There are some old episodes still on there from when we were formerly LivBay Lash. Those are down in the archive section with some really great older techniques. But the newer stuff will be up there for you guys as well.
Yeah, we're excited. And then we do have our salon in Las Vegas. If you're ever in Las Vegas, you are more than welcome to come in. You can shop supplies at olivorlash.com. And then our salon is Olivor Lash Salons. And we have it in Tivoli Village in Summerlin, Vegas, and Henderson and Centennial coming soon. We're so excited.
So excited.
Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. We do appreciate you.
Bye.